What's up, geniuses? Welcome back to For the Record. I'm your host, Rob Markman. Now, you never see on camera, but when I called into our producer, our show producer, Rahel, this morning, I said, man, what we got going on today? She just yelled into the phone, the Butcher is coming. And the Butcher is here. The Plugs I Met is the new album.
Yeah.
First time ever on For the Record. Benny the Butcher, welcome to Genius, brother.
Man, thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
Nah, man, thank you for coming through. You're a rare breed right now, you know, and I say that we interview all types of artists here.
Mm-hmm.
It's no secret that the type of artist that I came up on coming up as a kid in Brooklyn in the 90s, 2000s era and all of that is lyrical. It's a little bit more lyrical. It's a little bit more street based.
Right.
And for a long time, I feel like the conversation to hip hop has shifted away from that. And the things that you're doing with your brothers at Griselda,
Right.
with Machine, Conway,
West,
feels like it's coming back. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get into all of that today.
Let's do
all
it,
right?
man. Let's do it.
Plugs I Met,
Right.
the new joint. How did you go from Tanda Talk 3 to this new album? Because on Broken Bottles, it's almost like you foreshadow what was happening. You said, I heard they sick about me rapping about the drugs I stretch, and I'm gonna write a whole album about the plugs I met.
Right.
Sounded like a dope bar until you was like, oh no, he was dead serious.
Yeah. It's basically just taking a shot at the critics, everybody saying like, yo, is this all he gonna rap about? Yo, is this all he gonna rap about? And I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? Because if you a critic and you really trying to throw salt on me, that's what they say. That's all he rap about. But if you really listen to the music, people find the jewels and they find the lessons inside all of that. You know what I mean? They only just don't hear no drug talk. They hear a bunch of shit.
Well, and then also though, as I understand it, you're rapping your life though. At the same time, like
right.
If you lived another life, maybe you'd rap about something a little bit different, right? Like this all comes from real life.
Yeah. That's everything. Like all my music is biographical, and the kind of industry kind of made dudes like me believe that we had to do a different thing to be successful. So when people see me doing my own thing and they see Griselda doing our own thing, they're like, yo, why y'all not doing this? Or why y'all? Because we don't have to, first and foremost. This is our formula, and it's music about our life. We couldn't if we wanted to.
Right. And I want to get back to that too, just the style and y'all really sticking to y'all guns. When a lot of people would have kind of switched up or done something just a little more trendy
Right.
to get in. One of the real dope things about your catalog, and I think we get to see it, you know, from, you know, a friend of ours, Tanda Talk 3, the Plugs I Met, is very like self-referential, right? Meaning that you'll pull something from another project, like maybe something you mentioned on another project, and then you'll flesh out the story on this project. Like in time, we see your whole story unfolding. I want to go from 5 to 50 on this project, you know, because you pick up where you left off of a friend of ours. Like, you know, even the title on India is a song on a friend of ours, and you say, most importantly, Indy, the risk she took with me, put her job on the line to help turn 5 to 50.
Right.
So that's just a line on India 2 albums ago,
Right.
And now we get the song 5 to 50. Can you kind of talk about the whole development of that story from India to 5 to 50?
Well, on India, I named the song India because I asked her what I should name, and of course she's like, you should name it India. But I already had put her name in it. The song was already done because I was given a story about my life, a detailed story. Some stories is different. Some stories I'm just touching on. Some I'm going all the way. I'm letting you know every detail. And I just wanted her to be able to tell her part. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted her to authenticate what I was saying on India. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't believe this shit. They think it's a movie and everything is real. So, you know, I'm like, don't take my word for it. Let her get a little dialogue on 5 to 50. And everybody wanted me to call that the 5 to 50 India too, because that's what it felt like to me.
Right.
And that's what it sounded like to me sonically. But I thought 5 to 50, like you said, I like to play on the other title and all that. Like that's kind of my method. So I thought it would be interesting to the fans who know India. I thought it'd be, you know what I'm saying, good for them, and they could add a little nostalgia to it. You know what I'm saying?
It's dope because, and I think it's a dope kind of way of thinking of presenting your music, because there's a lot of people whose entry point is going to be the Plugs I Met. A lot of people whose entry point was Tanda Talk 3. And then it gives you almost a reason to go back.
Right.
And be like, and you know, not to compare, but I think somebody else who does that really well are the guys over at TDE, Kendrick you know, if you remember Good Kid, Mad City, and the whole thing about his mother's van and driving
Mhm.
around. But if you remember Pussy and Patron from the
Right.
Kendrick Lamar EP, like he's telling almost like a little part of a similar
Right, right,
story.
right,
And when your whole career stretch out, you appreciate it
right.
more
And the
because it just
fans could
feels
tell
like
this story. They could tell your story because they know it. You know what I'm saying? That's dope.
that's dope. And India was cool with that. Like how much do you? Because you putting a lot out there, brother. Like
Right,
how
right,
much do
right.
you struggle with then? How much do I actually say, and how much do I gotta
Okay, now
hold back?
this is why I do what I do a lot of times. It's because uh me and my friends, we from a real place. This music is real. And a lot of my friends is fighting federal cases right now. And I saw all of it happening before it happened. You know what I'm saying? Before we was ever got jammed up, people was coming to us like, yo, they asking about y'all, yo, y'all need to chill, da da da. So I told myself that I'm gonna put it like in the music. You know what I'm saying? So if anything come back to bite me, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting it in the music. Basically meaning like I talk about how it's us against the federal government and shit like that. So and plus my hands been clean for years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My hands been clean for years. So I'm telling my story and I kind of feel like I wanted to draw the story up before the government did what they did, jammed all my homies up, and it looking like it came out of nowhere. But you can go back to the music and know that we kind of like been being harassed by them. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about you because you know again I think 5 to 52 really the underlying thing and kind of the great feeling about this song because it's really you chronicling going from being in the streets
Right.
to being a rapper and getting money legally.
Right.
When did you feel like what was the moment when you finally realized that you had made that transition and what did it feel like when you were able to put the streets behind you and fully focus?
I'm still realizing it every day, but a point was when I got to making a certain amount of money. You feel what I'm saying? And it wasn't a lot of money.
Right.
It was just like, damn, I can afford to treat my kids, my girl, and pay all my bills, and still be able to shop and travel off music. Like shit, different for me because you know where I got every dollar from. I had to pull every dollar off the corner. So it's like, if I don't got to do, I make money like this now. That was an eye opener to me, and I'm like, damn, like if I could do it, it's possible. So that was big for me, being able to feed myself off of putting out records.
Was it at one point? Was it a certain record that did that for you, or was it a certain deal that happened that?
It was a situation where I had put out what the fuck was that about Butcher on Steroids.
Okay.
A couple years ago, I put out Butcher on Steroids, and you know the Griselda situation. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Buzz, Westside Gun, Conway. Shout out to those niggas. It's like that amplified me more. So it's like, damn, I'm at a point where I'm good. I could just do this. Now, it increased tenfold since then, but I'm just saying, it's like I was good with that. Not
Right.
satisfied, but I'm like, okay, I got a chance to make a lot of money off of it. I'm okay with this type of money, long as I don't got to do that shit no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. Another transition, and it's dope, man. Like on India, right? For example, you rapped fans trying to meet me and come greet me because I'm popping. They reaching out trying to dap me, and I'm reaching for my rocket. It reminded me of a 50 line, right? Remember when 50 was like, if you love me, tell me you love me, don't stare at me, man. I hate to be in the pen for clapping one of my fans.
No, real
like,
shit, because you fucking like, when you new to this shit and you like leaving the show or you just anywhere, we like 5 deep in the mall, some other niggas 5 deep, and they looking and they whispering like, yo, who them niggas? And I'm like, who the fuck is them? Like, it was just happened the other day. We was walking down, and the same thing happened. It's like dudes was breaking their neck, looking back, whispering. And it was almost like, okay, I'm Benny the Butcher, but it's like, it's just a little sketchy. And then he ran up. We walked down, he ran up like, yo, I apologize, man. I noticed you, I want a picture. And I'm like, yeah, you good. That's why it's like 50 says, like, if you see me, holler at me. Don't do that sketchy shit, because it make me nervous.
Right. It's crazy, man. And then another line on going back to 5 to 50. I'm independent, but they think I've signed to Shady because my jury make it look like I made it. Talk about that. Can you talk about the balance? Because Griselda has a deal with Shady.
Right.
But you're still independent. Like how to talk about the grind and the perception versus what the reality really is and the work that y'all put in.
It's like, okay, Griselda is signed to Shady Records. You know what I mean? And my deal was through Griselda, but I'm not a part of the Shady deal. You know what I'm saying? Shady, they all family over there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody family over there. Treat me like I'm family. It's like I'm signed. I just ain't get a check. You
Mm.
know what I mean? The big part.
That's an important part
Right.
of being signed is getting the check.
Not real shit. So it's like I operate, you know what I'm saying, a Griselda artist, and I'm moving around with Wes and Conway. And I kind of put it out there because I wanted people to see that we work hard on our side too. I don't want people to think, no, he just doing this because of this or because of that. Nah, we working hard over here. So I put that out there. And a lot of times people don't want to reach out. They didn't want to work with me because they feel like, no, he good. He got the shady. Man, they good. They didn't want to, you know what I'm saying, help me or do nothing like that. I just let everybody know, like, nah, I'm really doing this shit like blood, sweat, and tears, hard work.
Still
You
working.
know what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody at Shady, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, that situation amplified my situation.
Mm.
It's a no-brainer, but you know what I'm saying? I'm still using my own legs, man.
So there's some benefits, but it doesn't negate the actual groundwork that you got to
Yeah,
put in.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? It don't negate whatever we do because we do this shit day to day, every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, oh man, another song, 18 Wheeler.
Ooh.
18 Wheeler with Pusha-T, my guy Pusha-T. I seen a tweet originally from my man Matt that said the song was originally called Drug Dealers Anonymous too. And one of the things that made me pick up on just when we talk about lyrics, you know, on Drug Dealers Anonymous, Pusha says, I can't even mention what I sent or what I spent because my name on 18 Wheelers is evidence. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So that's
shit.
18 Wheelers is actually a lyric
Oh,
that's in
word.
Drug Dealers Anonymous.
Damn.
You didn't peep that?
Yeah, I did. I knew that. I knew that. Yeah, I knew that.
Talk about the kind of transition, the feel of the record, and how you go from maybe, damn, this feels like a Drug Dealers Anonymous too, but nah, this is 18 Wheeler, this is Benny the Butcher and Pusha T.
Because it's like, that's how the record made me feel, like Drug Dealers Anonymous too. It was like, okay, Push was been that guy, but the verse from Hov was like Push getting knighted. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt, and I know that's how a lot of other people felt. And basically just the shit that they were saying in the song, and you know what I mean, like that was like me getting knighted from Push.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I took it as that. It was like the passing of the torches. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reasons, you know what I'm saying, they ain't want the song to be named that, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? 18 Wheeler, I like 18 Wheeler. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I like 18 Wheeler, like you said. It tie you back.
It gives you your own legacy also to stand on.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that. You make that correlation about Pusha feeling like that he got knighted off of that, and then you feeling like you getting the same kind of treatment from your OG. Man, I remember when Push got the verse, I didn't know what it was. I just know I got a text from him, and he said, man. Because, you know, at Genius, we do the annotations on the lyrics. He said, hey, man, get your annotation pen ready, man. Something coming.
Oh,
I can't
shit.
say. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually, as it rolled down and we got closer, we saw what it was. But just knowing as an MC what that meant for him. And I feel a lot of that same energy.
Yeah, that's exactly
how
how I feel, man. So shout out to Push. He ain't had to do that.
And do you look at him for inspiration? Because one of the things you said was like the criticism that you get for people saying, oh, well, you only rap about the streets, you only rap about coke. That's a big criticism that Pusha has. And I mean, you know, it's crazy because you see him at different fashion weeks in different countries and different
Grammy nominated. You know what I mean?
So does that give you does that raise the ceiling for you? Like, was there ever a doubt like, damn, I got to switch it up? Or did you always kind of know, like, listen, I'm just gonna rap my life and do what I do?
Yeah, because I've been rapping about that a long time. So even before all of this came about, people was telling me, it's like, yo, you think you should just switch it up and just go, you know what I mean? And really I didn't. And like we touched on earlier, it's like, why do people think you got to do what made somebody else successful? That's their lane. That's their path that they took. And I got pride in what I'm rapping about, you know what I'm saying? Because it's real and it's my story. So I'm comfortable with that. And I don't need my records to do what the Migos records do. I don't need my records to do what these other niggas records do. Like I'm carving out my own path and my own lane, so I'm comfortable with that. You know what I mean?
That's dope. Plus, you know, and what I tell artists all the time, or what I see is like, you probably not gonna out Migos the Migos.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? In terms of the same way that I don't know that any of them could do what Griselda does to the degree that y'all do it. And if you carve out your own lane, I'd rather be number 1 in my category than number
Yeah.
50 in somebody else's
I
category.
be telling niggas, I be hearing records, niggas sounding like Drake. I be like, bro, they have Drake already.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they got Drake already.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, be something else. But people, you know how this shit go. They see you being successful with something. Everybody want to try it.
Let's talk about Crown for Kings. Let's talk about successful and talk about Crown for Kings because I feel like, and I always kind of had this feeling, I think Black Thought is one of the greatest MCs on
That's
earth.
a fact. That's a fact.
You know, I honestly, when we just talking about lyricists, I might juggle between either him or Royce the 5'9" on any given day of just the top 10 MCs, right?
I got songs with both of them.
We already know for the record. I feel like a lot of rappers, like, I also feel like Black Thought isn't on many features.
He's not. He's definitely not.
And I don't know if it's him or rappers are scared to rap alongside him. You weren't scared.
Nah, I wasn't scared because like it been a thing for a while about getting 8 on your own song. So dudes, they don't even dance in that arena. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't even think about shit like that. I don't even think about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or I got confidence in my bars. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a song with Thought. I'm just not about to go in there willy-nilly. Of course, I'm gonna get my head right.
Right.
But you know what I mean? I know for a fact I'm Benny the Butcher. When I send artists a record, they're trying to kill me.
Right.
That's just how I feel, whether if they doing it or not. Like, I know how this rap shit go.
Right.
They're trying to kill me. So honestly, when I send a record to somebody, I'm confident with my verse. Like, I don't gotta switch nothing up. Like, I send shit to niggas. They send it to me and I do something, niggas will switch their verse and all type of shit. Like, I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying?
That's an unwritten law. I think like that's a no-no. Like, you can't. So when you send a record to Thought or you send a record to Push, your verse is already on it.
My verse
like
is already on there.
Okay.
Because I don't want nobody feeling like not only them. You know what I'm saying? Just it's all my peers in this hip hop music. I don't want to feel like, oh, I want to see what you gonna do. Then I'm gonna make my move.
Right.
Especially if it's my song. No, I'm setting the tone on it, and this is how we going. And I only fuck with the spitters. Right. The legends. So it's Thought, this Push, this Kiss. You know what I mean? I know what they gonna do. So. Right. It's good. So I listened to it about 37 times. Oh yeah, I'm good with that. Send that. You know what I mean?
Okay. And you know the way the record is set up. I mean, there's no hook. It's just bars. You know, this is the only thing that you're to be judged on. And you know, it doesn't feel like a competition. Like,
no, it don't. It don't.
It's really just two titans rapping to the best of their ability.
Yeah. Because it's like if I come to the party with Black Thought and he shoot the motherfucker up, he's with me. We good. Like I ain't get hit. He the nigga with me.
What was your reaction when you got the verse back? What stood out to you right away?
Wanted to slap my mama, man. No, when I got
You've been hanging out with Eminem too much, man. I don't know what's going on. Them shady got you moving different.
Shit. But I got the Thought verse. I'm like, hold up. I didn't just not only the verse. But the verse, what he was saying, he went crazy on it. So it wasn't just like a regular verse. So when I'm like, okay, I have Black Thought on this record. I have Black Thought going fucking dumb on this record. And this is my intro. I knew what it was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fan. So I'm not sitting here like, yeah, Black Thought, I'm that nigga. I'm thinking like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I still text those niggas and thank those niggas still. You know what I'm saying? I'm a humble individual. You know what I'm saying? And those dudes who I am inspired by. So it's not like anybody. So I'm just, if it was on your album, I'd be like, yo, that song is dope. That's dope. You know what I mean? So to be able to curate that, you know what I'm saying, and get that to the people on my tape, it's a blessing.
Dope. Yeah, they gotta come to your store to get that.
Exactly.
That
you know what I'm saying?
I want to take my hat off to you because Thought's verse is phenomenal, and an MC who has built his legacy, Thought will never have to spit another verse if he doesn't want to again. And he cemented, and I think you're building your legacy. One of the ill things that you do, that I noticed that you do, and you do it in particularly in this song, is how you kind of use your wit and you set that up, because I feel like the wit the punchline is what attracts, is what sticks out. And then right after, you kind of give the shit that we need to hear or the jewel. So you did that. My favorite line probably on this is, before I knew what A&R, I was weighing hard back when Nicki Minaj was in the training bra. You play this game, you better play it hard. So that's the witty part, right? Back when Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj is like this. Like,
right.
We never seen her at that level. Back when
it's just like this now.
So that's the witty part, right? So you can see that, you can visualize that. Shout out to Nicki. You play this game, you better play it hard. The judge will give you life, and later that day he'll be playing golf. So you go from the witty kind of just Nicki Minaj visualizing that we can all see.
Right, right.
And then you make a real comment on the inadequacies of sentencing and the plight of brown and black men
Right.
in the justice system in a matter of 4
Right,
bars.
switch over. Because like I said, it's important that I give them that. You know what I'm saying? I could have rhymed about something else, but I felt like it was important that I give them that. I thought of that line, Judge, be playing golf. I'm like, yeah, that's it. And let me say this about the Nicki Minaj line. Well, this is what I meant, because I don't, you know what I mean? I meant like before Nicki, probably around my age. So I'm saying before she was of age to have grown lady titties, I
Right.
was in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I meant by that.
Yeah, and to me, just I've spoken with Nicki before. Like
Mhm.
we, you know, she takes her pen very seriously.
Right.
And I think even though she's included in that, I hope she can see, and I think she can see like, oh shit, that's an ill bar. Like that's an ill way to
Hey,
set
yo,
up.
I don't want no smoke with the Barbie. I don't want no smoke, man, baby. Do your thing. You the shit.
Yeah, I don't think anybody takes that as a diss. Sunday school.
Mm.
Ain't seen what I saw turn a brick into a pot full of gold. Over that, spent my daughter's first birthday locked in the hole.
Mm.
Can we talk about, because as much as you get criticized or how you feel you may get criticized, because I don't even really hear that criticism that much, but how it's the street talk, the coke talk, the drug talk. This is the consequence.
Exactly.
This is the consequence. Over that, I spent my daughter's first birthday locked in the hole.
I got a pot full of gold. I'm letting you know that. It's a pot full of gold, but with that gold came, I spent my daughter's first birthday locked in the hole.
Right.
I want people to know both sides.
You rap about your daughter. One daughter or two? You have two?
I got
daughters?
two.
Two daughters. You rap about your children a lot, your daughters a lot. You had the other line on Tanner Talk where you had talked about she walked in the room and you had to put up the gun, but you like, nah, I forget the ball. But it's like, yo, that's here to protect us.
Right.
How privy are your daughters to your music? Because it's real gritty, man.
They listen to like the Rubber Bands and Wait. And what the fuck do they listen to? Broken Bottles. Cause you know what? It's culture now. Right. So my daughter in 8th grade, and she'd find like 8th grade boys in her class listening to it. You know what I'm saying? So she got to know her stuff. So it's culture. But you know, they like all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? The NBA Young Boys and who the fuck they listen to? The Polo G.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They listen to stuff like that. So sometimes they put me onto a lot of music. You know what I'm saying? I stay sharp from them. And I send them a lot of music to find out if it's it or not. But they know what's going on, and they was right there with me, man, making them jail visits, man. So they know what it is. They not like little girls or nothing, you know what I'm saying? The oldest daughter, she a stepdaughter I had. I used to be married to my baby mama, you know what I'm saying? And my the youngest one, that's my biological daughter, but they both my daughters, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, she's 14. The other one is like about to be 21. So these is like, you know what I mean? So they understand it. And they got to get into it, and they be like, oh, Dad, my teacher, she was listening to your music, and I'm like, I know, I'm lit. I know. You know what I mean?
Start getting them letters, man. You don't get mixtapes from the other kids' parents coming home and your daughters look back.
Man, we can't do that.
I got that once, man. There was a dude sent his mixtape to school with his kid to get to my son to get to me. And I had to go talk to him, man.
No, you got to go talk.
I said, listen, man, I'm by the school all the time. Give it to me. Right, I'm cool. I'll take the mixtape. This back when I worked at MTV. I'll take the mixtape. Give it to me, man. My kid ain't. He don't.
That was desperate right there. That was desperate. He thought about it long time. Like, damn, should I give it? I'm giving it to this nigga.
Music was trash too. Yo, then you also rap Sunday School, man. I had to dumb it down. You gotta do that. It's like bringing down the prices. You gotta move that. Like, do you feel compromised with your music? Do you feel at points that you have to? Because your brand is raw. So I'm wondering, did you ever, like, where do you feel like you have to dumb down the music at?
I feel like you gotta me playing politics of the game. You feel what I'm saying? And when I said that, I didn't necessarily mean the music. Is how my demeanor, how I play, and who I shake hands with, who faces I'm smiling in it, and how we taking care of this business. You know what I'm saying? You might have to link with some people you don't want to link with. You might have to do some things you don't want to do, but you're in a different arena. So that comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? But the music is raw. But I kind of meant like me getting like I really couldn't like be I had to leave the street me at home. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? When I'm coming out and I'm working in these offices. So you got to dumb it down. You got to, you know what I'm saying? Only be a portion of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in a whole different world. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about the streets no more.
Right, and most don't even understand it. Like
Yeah.
it's not cut from the same cloth when you walk up in the buildings.
Right. And some people take it personal. It's like, man, but this is not that. Like, this is part of the business. Like, this is part of the culture. It's like, it's not going to change for you. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to adapt to it.
How much did the streets help you be able to figure out the business side though? Like, y'all do West Side is amazing at this with the merch.
Yeah.
And
by Fashion Rebels,
yeah. Like, and I look at a brother, rest in peace, like Nipsey. Just like it was more than music that they were just touching it. And as I see Griselda and you guys growing, I see the music and I see the brand, but then I see some things like a sweatshirt goes on sale for 24 hours in the color that you want, and then it's gone, and people go crazy for it. So how much did the streets kind of prepare you for the business in this way?
Somewhat. You know what I mean? And in one place it helped with the work ethic. That's where it worked a lot at. You know what I'm saying? The practices, not so much, but the work ethic. You know, a lot of street dudes come into this music business as a side hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is this a side hustle? Dudes will go buy jewelry, they go buy clothes, or they go buy this, they'll trick on a female, but they only willing to invest this much in a video. They only willing to invest this much on a feature. Like, so I ain't paying this dude. Me from the streets, we was all in the streets. It's the same thing. Like, we all in with this. We taking the interviews, we traveling, you know what I'm saying? Like, we spending the money, we getting the merch. How much this gonna cost? It's gonna cost that day. We getting it. We gonna get the money back anyway. So it's like you gotta go hard with it. You know, some niggas around here like tiptoeing around the business, you know what I'm saying? They acting like this shit here for them, you know what I mean? Like, this is not a revolving door. Like, you gotta get in and you gotta apply them same practices. You gotta be relentless. You gotta beat it into people's head that you one of the illest niggas. You gotta take the interviews, you gotta take the shows, you gotta move your ego out to the side. So that's how I hustle when I'm in the streets. And I'm saying I'm taking all the money. You feel what I'm saying? What you only got 200, here I come. Or you got 150, here I come. What you got 20, here I come. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about what that one person got. It's about what I made at the end of the week.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's about the total impact everything gonna make. I feel like a lot of dudes don't know how to hustle in this business. They know how to, and dudes know how to stand sleep on a trap floor for 30 days to get some money. So how you don't know how to do this though?
It's funny, and I know you take a lot of inspiration, as we all do, from Hove. 97 Hove.
Right.
But it kind of reminds me of the line when he said, I sold kilos of coke, so I'm guessing I could sell CDs.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the chances are different, but if you apply the same hustle.
Yeah, that's it. And that's how me and my team look at it. You know what I mean? It's like, if we was taking risks, you know what I'm saying, doing all of that, like, we could do this shit. You know what I mean? We ain't going to prison behind this.
The Plugs I Met is a fantastic album.
Yes.
Tana Talk 3 was a fantastic album. Friends of Ours. Like, I feel like each time out it gets better. And there's also a consistency with you. And I always hate this question because you hear promoting your new album and then they'll be like, well, when's the next one coming out? It's like, but I mean, you're dropping like 2 to 3 times a year and the quality isn't sacrificing. Are you already thinking about another project?
Well, what was Sheen gonna do with me, Wes, and Conway is coming out on Shady Interscope. You know what I'm saying? Later on this year. You know what I'm saying? It's already done.
That's so. And that's a dedication to your brother.
Yeah. Dedication to my brother. Rest in peace, Machine Gun Black. That was my older brother. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we got that album done. You know what I mean? Me and Conway wanted to do one. Me and 38 Spash. I got one in the chamber with Smoke Dizza.
Shout out to Smoke.
Man, I'm working on the Black Soprano Family tape, our compilation that we doing. So I'm just staying busy, man. And my method is, man, I want to surround myself around like the dopest niggas. When I'm sitting down and I'm having conversations with the legends and everybody who been down this road, man, I'm listening. I'm hanging on to every word. You know what I mean? That's free game. And I apply that to my everyday. You know what I'm saying? And like dudes tell me just work on getting better. Some people don't even know how to get better. Right. Like you got to push yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to push yourself and try to bend the words. Like sometimes when I'm writing a verse, I might scroll through a dictionary, a thesaurus. You know what I'm saying? I'm using any advantage that I got. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never going to compromise the quality of the music because I'm gonna always get at A1, and if I don't, I'm a motherfucking watch a movie. Something gonna inspire me. You know what I mean? That's what I'm about. We fly to Puerto Rico just to record an album. We fly to LA to record an album. You know what I'm saying? Next is Miami, just something to inspire us. Like we going to the deepest depths just to pull inspiration out of us. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, man. And I appreciate you for saying that you'll pull out a dictionary or thesaurus or anything to bend the words, because everybody got a different process, and it's not about shitting on nobody or invalidating somebody's process. But I think often we hear now, oh man, I just went in the booth and I just freestyled that. Oh, I just did that in 2 minutes and I did that in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it works for some artists. And a lot of artists, it just sounds like you went in the booth to freestyle it. Maybe you should have took a little bit more time to do it the right way.
If somebody told me that, when people say that, I can tell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could tell. Like, when you hear my shit, you know it ain't just no 2-minute shit.
Right.
I'm taking my time. I'm in a corner. I'm drinking all the Henny. I'm smoking a blunt. My phone dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking my time on it because that's more important to me. So you gotta put it in. You gotta put your craft in.
That's dope, man. You definitely do that. Last thing I want to do before you get out of here, man, it's a tradition that we have here on this show. I always ask my guests, again, because we appreciate the art and what came before us and what's around us, and we're here celebrating you. But I want to know if you have a favorite verse of all time from any artist other than yourself, and could you rap it?
All right. Now, I got 2 verses. I got one that's my second favorite. You know what I'm saying? I just know it good, and I got one that I might not know this is my favorite.
But do the one that you know the best.
I got to do the one that's my favorite. If
Okay.
I fuck it up, put the words on the thing. You know what I'm saying? Put it below me. My niggas bullshit on the grill. I don't fuck around, Dunny. It's the most real. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck he say? I'm gonna just spit a part of the verse.
Right.
This is my favorite part of the verse.
Prodigy,
You know what I'm saying?
peace,
Yo,
Prodigy.
I gave birth to your whole style and feel. How do it feel to hold my dick in public? Cock blower, duplicate rap cloner. Let's me and you do it live on stage for Dolo. Ah, man, that one. Or it gotta be, it's something Prodigy.
Right.
Or the verse from the realest, you know what I'm saying? He was a wordsmith with his words.
Right.
And he wasn't the best lyricist, but you felt everything. He had a way of pulling emotion out of you. You know what I'm saying? And I think you can hear that in my shit all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally wrote whole Mobb Deep albums in notebooks when I posted been doing homework and shit.
So you almost did the genius thing. You just transcribed somebody else's lyrics.
That was my method. Like, I did whole album, Biggie album. I did Mace. Don't tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? I wrote everybody's shit down. You know what I'm saying? And went and used to read it and unconsciously that was preparing me for this, like for my delivery and my breath control.
Right.
And I didn't know it. Like I was just a fan. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So man, shout out to P, man. Like I'm nervous right now. That's why I can't remember.
Right.
But P, he got my classic verses.
And we all did that, man. Shout out to Prodigy. One of the dope things, and you're right, I think there's a grittiness and a similarity. One of the things that, and, you know, I've been blessed to have known Prodigy, to interview him and spend time with him. You know, I think everybody knew what he was going through with the sickle cell and the pain that he felt.
Right.
I think Prodigy is the best MC hands down when it comes to just describing pain. Like, I don't think anybody describes pain better than Prodigy. Like when he says, rock you in your face and stab your brain with your nose bone. Like, first of all, what makes you think of that? Like, he had to have felt something.
Real shit.
That maybe we wasn't on that wavelength to be coming out like that. So it's a dope kind of MC to look up to and model yourself after. And you built the legacy, building the legacy that I think people coming up after you, you know, 5 years from now is going to be somebody sitting in that chair doing the Benny the Butcher verse.
Oh, that's dope.
And talking about how you inspired them. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Real shit.
You know what I mean? But, my brother, thank you for coming on the show.
Man, thank you, man. Appreciate you, baby.
No doubt, man. And we're out. Thank y'all for watching, man. Talk in the comments. We're going to talk back, and we're going to see y'all next week. This is For the Record.